We got a guest on today. This is Energizer. He's a longtime gaming buddy of ours. We've been playing with for quite a number of years now. So, most everybody else they're probably pooping, so they're not here. Nah, I'm just kidding. Tuna's got some plumbing stuff, and then AG's wife's birthday, so.
Happy birthday, Mrs. Army Guy.
Yeah, happy birthday, Mrs. Army Guy.
Happy birthday.
So Energizer graciously has joined us and blessed us with his presence here today.
Yeah, I had a busy schedule, so I had to, put some things to the side, but here I am.
Yeah.
By that, I mean my sandwich.
I had to put the controller down.
Yeah. Plumbing problems are shitty, yes. So yeah, so this is Energizer. We've been playing COD and other games with him for, since what, 2020 probably? 2019 maybe?
Yeah, it might be like 2019.
Late 2019.
Yeah, I was streaming when I was living out in Seattle, and then moved back to the Chicago area. So yeah, it's probably been like 5.
Well, damn, I'm sorry on both occasions.
6 years, something like that.
So been a while,
Seattle, I really enjoyed Seattle. If it wasn't so expensive to live there, I'd probably still be there. I was living with 2 different roommates, and then I had a better job over here, so I decided to move back, and then I'd probably end up moving back there at some point, but
like in Seattle or like a surrounding area.
No, I was the outskirts, so like Bremerton,
Bremerton,
Silverdale.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like it's a little different in Seattle though.
Yeah, I hated Seattle when I went there.
Yeah, I think I went to Seattle maybe a handful of times, and most of those were getting through it to go to the airport. So
yeah, that's most of my trips to Seattle too, is just going to the airport.
Yeah.
I look at it and go, oh, look, there's the Space Noodle. Oh, look, there's the Trade Center. Oh, okay, cool. Here's the airport. I'm out. Or a concert. There it is. A concert.
The wharf. I mean, I did like Fisherman's Wharf. That's about it.
Yeah. Oh, the Pike's Place Market.
Yeah, that one.
Was it Market or Pier? Was it Pier 13 or something like that?
I don't know. I just noticed Pike's Place.
Yeah, Pike's Place.
Yeah, I don't know which pier it is.
Or Pier, I think it's Pier 51. I could be wrong.
So speaking of shitty.
Shitty. We wanted to find out a little bit about Energizer real quick before we go in. Okay. So we know he used to live out here by me in Washington State, and then moved out for job opportunities out there somewhere near Canada. And then what do you do, like, if you don't mind us asking?
So basically what I do, if you guys have ever seen these phallic sex toys, somebody has to paint the top, the head of the phallus. That is my specialty.
So is it like a special paint?
Airbrush it or
airbrush?
Yeah, it's like an airbrush. So because you have to be able to blend it and get it right. There's a couple of different colors.
So you don't do it by mouth.
No. I tried that before, but it's
not efficient.
Not efficient, no. And plus, it hurts your jaw. So I just
latex tastes a little funny, probably.
It does, yeah. So I do the head, and then send it down the line. Somebody else takes care of the rest. But yeah, I specialize solo on the head.
Huh. Yeah. So do you like? Is there a good palette of colors you get to use, or just same color each time?
Yeah, I blend them myself, so they're kind of custom.
Okay.
Sometimes we get special orders. I can they send a picture and then I have to match it. But
God damn it. I can't.
Oh no! Is that the line? Okay.
You have to color match a picture. Okay, so do they DM it to you, or?
Yeah, well, it's a website or like an email. So it comes through the chain and then it gets sent down to me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's some color correction. You got to remove some molds and stuff like that. But
okay, like discoloration.
So what size of the picture is it? Do they like one of those? Put it on an easel, like a presentation at a fucking office job or something?
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, they're like I don't know. They're like what are they? 8x12s. You know, sometimes you just turn them sideways.
Yeah.
You know, so you get a better idea. But yeah,
so it's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Ask for high res.
So is it like a assembly line type of job, or do you work in an office, like in a cubicle, or?
So I have my desk, and then you know, there's at any time there's 8, 10, 12 dicks on my desk, and I just gotta go at them one at a time. You know, it's not bad.
So you're the Bob Ross of the toy world.
I can't do it.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, happy
Just
little
a bunch
mistakes.
of happy little accidents.
Yeah, happy little accidents. Yeah.
That's
No.
I literally can't hold my shit together right now with this.
Anyway, so in all seriousness, that's not what I do for work.
That's his hobby.
That's my hobby. Yeah. So right now I have 8, 10, 12 dicks on my desk.
Yeah. Some people paint Warframe or Warhammer.
Do you ever get anything like this on your desk?
Yeah. About that size, it's just yeah.
Okay.
Give it knucks.
Yeah, this one doesn't have painted fingernails or anything.
That one looks like it's like you have to pick a hand and it's going to show you a candy. What is that thing?
Well,
is it in this hand or look at that thing?
Which one? Pick
a hand. That one. Oh, no. Damn it.
It's just wrong so we can fist bump.
Okay. Cool.
During wins. I haven't brought out what's its name again, Rebel? I can't remember.
Peggy Poundtown.
Poundtown Peggy, yes. That's the name of that object.
Okay.
Yeah. It's the gamer's best friend, is what it's called.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it is exactly.
With a Y.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So no, actually I don't think I've ever told you guys what I actually do for work now. It's kind of crazy, and everybody thinks that it's kind of crazy. So I'm actually a professional gambler.
A professional gambler?
Yeah. And that's real. That's not fake. Like, that's what I do.
Nah.
Yeah.
Really? Like what?
Yeah. So I don't know if you can see, like, my I got my shirt.
Yeah.
Huh. Like Circa is it's a sports gambling site, and then there's like.
So is it like sports betting then?
Some sports betting, and then there's stuff at the casinos as well. So I frequent casinos and yeah, a whole bunch of different things. So
how do you get into something like that? I've always been curious.
So when I was down in Texas, I was telling you guys about that job down in Texas.
Yeah.
And I had a buddy that he kind of heard about some stuff through the grapevine, but he was always sports betting and stuff like that, and I kind of like dabbled in it. Mm-hmm. But there are ways to sort of shift lines, or you can recognize when lines are shifting.
Sure.
There's like initial lines that come out, so you can do. They call it top down betting. So if it's an initial line, you can find variances between different sites for the lines. So then you can try to find edges there. The whole slew of different ways you can go about it. But I mean, there's some teams that they have enough money where they can completely shift a line,
just themselves.
Just themselves.
Just by whatever positions they place.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, as people start betting in one direction on a line, then it ends up forcing that line up or down, and then you can go the opposite way and get a lot more money down that way.
So what would you say to people who like to play the parlay game?
Parlays are good. If there's a couple of different websites you can use, so you can use like Prize Picks.
Yeah,
is a good one because even if one of your legs doesn't hit, then you still get a percentage. So like I think Prize Picks get like.
We're losing you.
Yeah, I don't know if it's me or let's pause for a second till he comes back.
All right, am I back?
You're back. Sir. Just there's no video. That's all.
Oh, I gotta turn it on.
I couldn't tell if it was us
there
or. Okay, we lost.
I think it was probably me.
We were talking parlays and if you lose a leg on your parlay, that you still get a percentage.
Yeah, so Prize Picks, they have it's like 5-team parlays. So you can do 5 legs of the parlay, and then if you win all 5 of them, I think it's 10x your money. But if you miss one, then it's basically like 1x your money,
sure,
or 2x your money. And then even if you lose 3 of them, then I think you still get like 30% of your bet back.
Mm.
So that one's pretty good. But as far as like we call them lottery tickets.
Yeah.
So trying to do like 10 teams or things like that. Those are fun, but there's not really too much money in them. There's a little bit too much variance going on with that. So
I never guessed that was like what you did regularly.
Yeah. A lot of people don't. So
didn't you? I thought you were doing something else when you were in like Seattle. You just changed like professions or something you did on the side, and then you made it your regular job.
So I was working in cell phone sales when I was out in Seattle. Okay. And I didn't like it really at all. I didn't like the fact that you had to. It was like pushy sales kind of. You had to push like different things that they were marketing at the time, and they were trying to get me to sell Apple Watches to an old lady that had a flip phone and things like that. And I'm like I'm not doing that. I have morals. So I actually came back to Chicago. I had a job with them still, and then I worked for a printing company for a while.
Oh, nice.
That was just like an office position, and I couldn't deal with that either. I don't have the personality for an office job.
So it's something that you probably did on the side, I'm guessing, and then just found like it's kind of a niche for you, and maybe you're good at it or something. You're like, I'm going to pursue this.
Yeah, a little bit. So I used to play poker all the time.
Yeah.
And I think having the poker background kind of helps. So you're not necessarily worried about the losses when they do come, because it's very swingy. But I mean, I kind of did this with my buddy for a while, and then figured out that there were ways that you could find different edges. Sports betting's a little bit of it. A lot of it is in the casinos and stuff like that, but and I can't really go into like too much detail about what it is, but yeah, a lot of it's kind of in the casinos and stuff like that. So
it's probably a lot less like studying the sports and more so studying the actual betting habits of people.
The actual numbers, yeah. So you can know nothing about sports and still make money doing it.
Yeah.
It's basically I'll tell you basically if you go to it's called Crazy Ninja Odds.
Mm-hmm.
It's a website that basically what they'll do is they skim all the numbers and they see where there are different edges. So there might be a 7% edge for this betting site compared to like other ones. So you can go to that, and then if you have that app, then you can like FanDuel, you can put it on FanDuel, and you might have like a 7% edge.
Oh, okay. Just like something to help you kind of digest what potential odds are from here and there. Gotcha.
Right. Yep.
It sounds like a lot of edging.
There is a lot of edging. I'm a professional edger. That is real. I've been edging for 18 months.
I recently saw a video of Joe Rogan when Anderson Silva first came in the UFC. The odds were real close between him and Chris Lieben. He said he pulled his friend aside and said, "Listen, bet the house on Anderson Silva. This is a different animal. Bet the house."
Yeah.
And guy won big.
I thought I saw that somewhere too, man. It's.
I think it was on one of his podcasts. I think I heard that too.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe that's where I heard it. I can't recall where that was, but sometimes you just know things, you know. I guess if you're in that game, like he's in that fight game, he sees people that are up and coming and goes, you could probably see it. Yeah, they probably see it. You know what I mean? Just that experience. Well, especially
he's specialized in that for, almost his entire life. So, he's been around it the entire time, and then he sees that and he's like, that's something special.
Yeah. You kind of have a gift of knowing, like, when you're doing something for so long and then you see someone come into it that's new or fresh and you just can see it on them. Like they're going to be very good at whatever it is. Like for example, somebody whose job is to screw the toothpaste caps on a toothpaste tubes. And he's been doing it for 20 years and sees a brand new high school kid come in at $7.25 an hour, screwing on the lids of toothpaste tubes, and he does it exceptionally well. He's going to be like, the 20-year vet of this, and be like, that guy's going somewhere.
He's gonna be managing this tube screwing business.
Yeah, exactly.
As long as he doesn't screw it up.
Yeah,
screw it down. It's funny. I think that can apply in a lot of places, though. I see it with young people coming in the service and then military service too. You could see them that come in that are just like, oh, this person's going places. They're gonna do really well. You just see it. They're brand new, maybe 20, 18, 19, 20, and they come in and they're brand new and they're just like a poster child for what we're looking for. You know what I mean? And not only look the part, they play the part, act the part, everything.
Yeah, they're just on their game all the time.
Yeah. They're few and far between, but they're there.
I'd say the biggest thing that I've noticed is if you're eager to learn and take coaching well, then you're going to do pretty well.
Yeah.
But if you get to the point where you're like, I don't want to hear from you. I know what I'm doing. Then that's where you're done. I noticed that a lot with construction too. You get these, 23, 24-year-old kids that they've been in the trades for 5 years and they're like, oh, I know what you're going to tell me. I already know, my way is best.
Especially the ones that went to school for it.
Yeah.
Those are the worst about it.
It's
like, listen, I've been doing it for 20 years and, hands-on. I know what I'm talking about. This is easier. This is better. Do it this way.
Yeah.
So, like, the guy, I just had a plumber come to my house the other day, and I made the comment. I was like, man, I should have been a plumber. It's like, go to trade school, It's like, I didn't even go to trade school. I learned from a bunch of retired Navy guys that work for this company that have been doing this stuff for years. They taught me on the job. I'm like, oh, and the guy was really good. He knew everything. I couldn't stump him with any question at all. Like, he just knew everything about it, and he was very friendly, very nice, very knowledgeable. And he literally just learned OJ, like apprenticed, through his job, through the company, just learning from the old guys that been doing it for a long time.
Yeah.
And I feel like sometimes that's the best way.
Get your apprenticeship, then move into a journeyman position, and then master plumber.
Yeah. There was a cabinet kid that worked at our on the contract that I was doing down in Texas. Little background: it was Section 8 housing. We did like projects that were like probably like 200 units, 200 apartments at a time. So we basically had a 5-day turnaround on these units. So tearing everything down, redoing all the inside, and then after 5 days, we would return back basically a brand new apartment for them. So we'd take out all the cabinets and then redo all of the cabinets, electric, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But we always had issues with this kid that he couldn't cut the hole for the plug in the back of the kitchen sink cabinet. He couldn't figure out where to cut it every time, and it was driving me nuts because he was putting holes in my damn cabinets. And so I told him, I was like, "Hey man, like, there's been 6 people that have been trying to tell you the best way to, other ways to do this and level your cabinets, and you haven't listened to any of them." Yeah. And I told him, like, you have like a century worth of experience in this room, and you have closed ears. I'm like, you got to listen, man. And I had to finally tell him, like, this thing is it's a machine that it keeps turning, and whether you have a problem or not, you need to figure out how to resolve it. So talk to the people around you. They're going to be the ones that have all the information that you need.
Yeah.
And if you don't, then they're going to get pretty pissed off.
Oh yeah, they're going to be like complaining like this kid's dead weight. We're constantly having to limp him along. Like it's causing us to slow down. It becomes a problem. People can't take constructive criticism or find something new to learn every day. Like I tell people this all the time, especially when they get up in like into the beginning ranks of where I'm at in the military. Is like, look, if you come into work and you feel like you haven't learned something the entirety of the day, stick around a little bit longer until you do. Talk to some people until you do learn something. And if you think you know it all, it's time to go. Like it's time for you to leave this and do something else with your life, because once you think you know it all, like just leave, because you're not going to help anyone.
Right.
I tell them, I even where I'm at, I try to learn something new every single day from whoever, anybody really. Just something that teaches me something new about the job or about life or about them, whatever it may be.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be job specific. It could be, it could be anything.
Yeah.
That's what I tell my kids, when they're doing their chores and stuff, is it's like a household's like any kind of company. And if you half-ass your part of your job, then it makes the next person's job twice as hard, because they have to fix your mistakes and then do their part.
Right.
Yeah. I think that's part of the problem with some, school. When people go to school to learn about things, is they come out thinking they know everything, and it's just really hard to. Not all of them, There's some that come out and think they know it all. You know what I mean? I've got people that come out of college that join the enlisted ranks in the military, and they're holding a bachelor's degree already. And they're 22, 24 years old. I'm like, they tell me this and that about whatever. I'm like, look, if you were as smart as you say you were, you wouldn't have joined enlisted. You would have gone in the officer side of the house. Holding your degree.
I was about to
already.
ask you,
like, why would you do that?
Stories about some cadet stories you have.
Me?
Yeah, you have any? Of a cadet?
Dude, I've literally... Well... What I'll say, and I'll just be general about it. There's times when you get people that come in that are just not cut out for it. Like you can tell, and it's sometimes it's no fault of their own, but you can tell that like they've not come from a good place. They've come from a broken home. They don't know the difference between right and wrong sometimes. You're like a continuing parent at times. Like I shouldn't, I'm 45 years old. I shouldn't really have to be telling a 19-year-old that's joining the 18-year-old in the military to clean their room. You know what I mean? On the base, like clean your room, because this is when I walk in and the smell is so pungent that it hits me in the face and makes me fucking actually feel like vomiting. Like that's wrong. You know what I mean? You're dirty. Like you need to clean this up. And like those are the basics, things that like a lot of people fail at when they're parenting and raising their kids. And like They send them in the military, and then we have to deal with that and correct that problem in a short amount of time. Otherwise, they could find themselves out of the military because of it.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's not often, but it happens.
I think that's a common misconception that people that might be. I think a lot of people that are, and I'm not saying this is everybody, but there are a lot of people that find themselves lost at 17, 18, 19. They think that just joining the military is just going to fix everything, and they're just gonna be like, okay, well it'll put me in the right direction, and then they just go and try to put it in the military's hands instead of taking it into their own hands and actually trying to help themselves as well.
Well, so yes, definitely. The disconnect is where they come in and they want to do something better with their life or change something or get out of a bad spot. The problem is when they get there, they don't listen to the people around them.
Right.
So then, we tell people, hey, don't do this. It's breaking the regulations or rules. Don't do it. Because they've done it once, right? Like, okay, I understand. I won't do it anymore. I get it. Okay, copy, move along. Have a great day. Next day, doing the same thing. Like, come on, You were given the answer to the test. All you have to do is show up on time in the right uniform and do exactly what you're told to do until you get into a position where you're now telling people exactly what they need to do.
Yeah.
Then do what you're told and you'll be just fine. Follow the rules and you'll just be fine, but they can't. There's something wrong with some of them. They come in and they just don't listen. They think they're just can do whatever they want. You know what I mean? I'm like, this is the military. There's a rank and file system here. It's not just, we're not regular civilians. Like there's ranks, they're there for a reason and they don't listen. And it's like, okay, well, I don't have the time to deal with you. So
yeah,
out you go.
Our cadet, I was meaning like the kids that go into like the officer schools, like the Citadel, High Point, stuff like that. So
I've seen some of them. Most of them come through their officers. They come into the real Fleet Navy, and a lot of them become pilots. The ones I've seen have become pilots, but they're real young too. Some of them are very green behind the ears with a lot of things. They're very smart. A lot of them are very smart. I mean, otherwise they wouldn't be getting into those programs where they're going to be a flight officer or something, or a pilot, but sometimes the common sense hasn't caught up yet. The life experience hasn't caught up yet. And the knowing the difference between right and wrong, it hasn't caught up yet, because essentially they're still 25, right? They're still 25, 26 maybe. And they're still making decisions that a lot of 25 and 26-year-olds will make, which a lot of times are stupid. I made a lot of stupid decisions when I was that age. Learning the hard way,
I think back to when I was 25 and I was an idiot.
I was still kind of a dumbass. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I was still delivering pizzas. I don't know. Maybe that was when I first started with that cell phone company, but yeah, I don't know.
I'm still a dumbass. I'm almost 40. So
yeah,
they're just, you try to teach them, because I'm still charged with mentoring and coaching those people too, even though they're officers. I still have to provide them advice and direction and things like that, so they're successful. But some of them listen, some of them don't. Some of them come in with their little pouch of good idea fairy dust and they sprinkle it around, and you're like, that's not a good call. But they're like, I don't care, I'm doing it anyways. All right, I'm gonna let you fall on your face then. We'll talk about it after.
Yeah.
But it's not all. There's a lot of great people that do come in, and it's onesie twosies is what I like to say, that come in that are not quite cut out. Whether they're enlisted or commissioned,
Okay. So it's not a substantial amount of people. It's kind of few and far between.
No, I wouldn't say it's substantial. I could tell you there's a big generational shift that we've all had to kind of flex to, because we need people to stay in, yes, but we have to deal with people differently now. Or I don't say deal with them, but handle things differently than what we could have in the past because of the generational shift that's happened. Like, I can't talk the same way I would talk to like you two guys, right?
Right.
As I can. I can't talk to somebody who's 18, 19 years old that same way.
Right.
Because they might go back to the freaking the BEQ and like tie something around their neck. Yeah. Like, you have to be real careful because people
wear gloves nowadays.
You got to wear like the felt gloves sometimes when you're talking to people. And I'm not saying sugarcoat things, because I definitely don't like that, but I will say deliver things in a way that's a little easier to digest, instead of just looking at someone and saying, you're being a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
You're the dumbest person I've seen in 20 years. You can't say things like that. Because people don't, like, for me, if someone said that to me, I'd be like, oh, fuck you. I'm going to show you I'm better than that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they took all the fun out of it.
But now it's like, hey, do you know where you went wrong here? Do you understand the difference between what is the right thing and the wrong thing? And so you have to kind of tiptoe a little bit.
Major pain is no longer a thing anymore, huh?
No, I can't break your finger to take your mind off the pain. No.
Yeah.
You don't speak to me when I'm talking to you.
You're not getting gut punched in the chain locker for being late for work or talking back to somebody. There's none of that's happening anymore. That's all long gone.
Yeah, if I was thinking about joining the military before, I don't think I'm going to do it now. I can't yell at people.
Well, you can. I don't call it yelling. I call it elevating my voice to ensure that I'm being heard.
I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can picture you yelling at anybody though. I think I think you have a lot of dad conversations.
I do.
He's got a really good knife hand.
Yeah.
I have a lot of the conversations where I'm looking people eye to eye and I'm talking to them as a human being rather than as a lot of times I talk to them as a human being first, and the place of authority is just backing it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So like, I don't use that as the forefront. I don't say, listen to this rank right here. I talk to him as a human being. If I have to elevate the volume of my voice, it's because I'm putting emphasis on something, but I won't scream. I'm not a screamer.
Yeah.
I'm not one of those guys. I'm not going to get up in your face and yell in your ear, because that's not part of my job. That's boot camp shit. That's shock and awe, and I'm not into shock and awe. I don't need to do that.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be my girlfriend then, because I like screamers.
Yeah. You know what's shocking, though, is all the poop. You have to
Speaking of girlfriend.
Are we still talking about his girlfriend? Yeah.
No, I was just changing the subject really quick. But we saw this video. You ever watch TED Talks?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's this. Okay. Let me just preface this. There's a lot of controversy right now about the H-1B visas. We were kind of talking about it before we went live, and I explained how it works, how it's supposed to work. It should be the highest level people coming in to get a visa to work and being paid, what's comparable in the United States for those jobs. So like an engineer perhaps should be, let's say they're making a mechanical engineers making $150,000 a year, but they get someone in from like India or someone, or, maybe another country, and they're paying them 90 or 80,000 a year. They're just doing it for cheap labor. This is really what what it is. So there's this whole controversy right now on Twitter, and this video came across my feed because what this has done is basically like illuminated a lot of people's their what's the word? I want to say, I don't want to say it's racism, but I want to say it's probably more of like people's culture they just find repulsive, I guess.
Okay.
Some people find it repulsive. Some people don't understand it as a culture, perhaps. I think it's none of those things. I think it's just what people just tend to do, given their state. But I found this TED Talk video. I'm gonna put it up right now. This TED Talk video is yeah, I know I clicked on it. Anyway, it's this lady from India talking about Indian culture and pooping in public. I thought it was hilarious because it's just, I don't know, just listen to it and then listen to the stats she puts out there and just trying to, it's like comparing 1 million to 1 billion. You know what I mean? If you think about it, the difference is vast. But anyway, here we go.
If this circle represents all of the open defecation that happens in the world, this is the fraction that happens in India. And this is the fraction that happens only in rural India. 65% of rural Indians defecate in the open. So what that means is that most of the open defecation that happens in the world happens in rural India, and most rural Indians defecate in the open. Every day, 500 million people in villages in India go in the fields rather than use a toilet or a latrine. That's bigger than the population of the United States. If this circle represents all...
Holy shit, dude.
That is so much poop.
I don't know. Is that a real TED Talk? Like, I've watched TED Talks in the past, but it's like, is it a real one or is that yeah, the video below that's great too.
Yeah.
I just saw it and I'm like, and then I was like, I was just letting it play in my player and I listened to it. I was like, get the fuck out of here. Really? 500 million? Our population's what, like 350 million in the United States?
Yeah.
Could you imagine if everyone in the United States just pooped outside on the ground every day?
That is just.
Could you imagine that?
Of poo.
Could you imagine what it would smell like?
Well, you'd run out of room. Like,
you wouldn't. You'd just be slipping everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, you would have to have just a couple of layers of poo. So, like, you know, when they dig down and they see like all the ash and stuff from the Big Bang.
Yeah.
Pretty similar. Like, they just find a big layer of poo in India, and they're like, "What the fuck is that poo?"
It fossilizes and turns into jasper, a rock, you know, like a jade or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Million years is going to be like the new fucking fossil fuel.
Well,
yeah.
What I've seen is it's not in India, but in some countries that I've been to, is people poop outside and wash their asses up with a garden hose. Like just right there on the ground, dude. Just wash their asses with garden hose.
You know what's really crazy is I think it's I want to say it's like Guatemala or something along those lines. But some people they'll use the bathroom and they don't have, maybe it was in Peru. They don't have very good like septic systems. Yeah. So they'll wipe and then they just take it and they just throw it in the garbage.
Yeah.
They don't flush any paper. Yeah.
Well, we have to do that in our lake house.
Yeah.
Throw it away. But we also burn our trash and not send it off to a fucking landfill either.
Right.
But because we are on a septic system and we can't flush the paper in the septic. And it's an old one too.
It's just it's a big shock when I went down to Peru this last year, and it's a big shock when you go into a McDonald's bathroom and you're like, wait, what? The next thing you know, there's a garbage can next to you, and you're like, oh, okay.
It's full of shit paper.
Yeah.
Oh man.
You'll notice like small town gas stations, they'll have a sign that says, please do not flush toilet paper. And, because they're on the septic as well.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people use half a damn roll of toilet paper, you know?
Right.
So tell Energizer your story about you using the wrong restroom.
Oh. I've told this story before, man. Okay.
Well, Energizer, I heard it.
So I was in.
What'd you do?
I went on a short detachment to Bahrain. Okay. You know where Bahrain's at, right? Middle East. It's a small little island kind of off Saudi Arabia.
Yep.
It's kind of like the poor man's Vegas of the Middle East in a way.
Yeah.
There's a grand mosque. Reno. Yeah, there's a grand mosque in Bahrain. So one day we decided we were gonna go, and I just got there in country. Just got there. We're like, hey, you guys want to go out on a little trip, go see the grand mosque, go on a tour? I'm like, sure, that sounds like something to kill time, instead of just sitting in my room doing nothing.
Right.
So I go out. Right before we go in, I'm like, I gotta use the bathroom. I'm like, all right, bathroom's out here. It's another little like small hut or house. It's a building outside of the mosque. There's as far as I could tell, there was no bathrooms in the mosque itself. They're all outside and away from the building, the main building.
Okay.
So I walked in there and I decided to take a leak. I walk in there and there's no urinals anywhere. There's just like a wall going down the center of the room, and there's like a trough on either side of the wall on the ground, and there's these little like stool things. Every couple feet there's like a I don't know how to explain it. It's like a little brick thing that's, I don't know, it looks like a stool, I guess. And there's one every couple feet. So I pull up to the little trough, and like I'm taking a leak, right? I'm like, this is the urinal. There's a drain on the end. Like literally I'm just pissing in the thing, I finish up and then some guy walks in and starts screaming at me. And well, first I took the little sprayer off the wall and I rinsed it down the drain. Right?
Okay. Yeah, you're being polite.
Trying to be polite. This guy's screaming at me. I fucking go outside and I'm telling my buddies, I'm like, this guy's just screaming at me. I went and pissed in the trough and he's like yelling at me. I rinsed it down and everything. I'm like, bro, that's where they sit down to wash their feet after they use the bathroom. Like, did you not notice the toilets along the wall, other side of the wall? I'm like, no. There was apparently on one end of the room there was toilets, and this area here is so that because they sit down and wash their feet if they use like defecate or anything like that, it's part of religion, I guess.
Yeah, it's a big part of the religion to wash their feet.
Yeah.
Here I am, white dude, just in a foreign country. First time there, peeing down the freaking trough where people are supposed to sit and wash their feet, and I'm pissing in it, dude.
Oh my god,
that's basically like going to a Catholic church and pissing in the holy water.
Yeah.
Well, not that they don't like use water droplets in there, and they don't do that in there. But it
is a sacred thing for them to wash their feet.
Yeah. It is, right. But the stools are there to sit down on, and the sprayers are there to wash their feet with, and then, not to rinse pee down the drain. So that's
Skep's thinking they just sit on this thing and let everything just free fall out, and wherever it lands, it lands.
Yeah,
you just use the sprayer
on a pedestal.
I did stand on it. Yeah, I left that part out, didn't I? I did stand on the pedestal. I'm like, this is weird, but
so you don't splash your feet.
Look, man, I was like 25, 26 maybe at the time, so I was still dumb.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. Anyway, the tour was cool. This German guy gave us the tour. He refused to give me a Quran that was written in Arabic, but he gave me an English translated one. I have a little miniature Quran. It's like this big.
That's cool.
Yeah. You get the English translated one because they don't want you to know what it actually says.
Yeah.
But no, it was cool. The one thing I do remember from it, though, is there was a carpet in there, and he said it was made on the largest loom in the entire world. So it's one long, wide piece of carpet made on like the largest loom that is in existence. I'm like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, that's sweet.
But yeah, that's like the one thing that kind of stuck.
Yeah.
But we had to kind of be quiet most of the time walking through there, looking at everything. But yeah, it definitely was a cool little adventure, I suppose. That was the biggest adventure I had, was doing the wrong thing in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah.
So
then getting caught.
Yeah, I get caught, you know. Got caught.
You're lucky you didn't get freaking stoned.
Bro, I think I was, I don't know. Maybe I was lucky. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, in the 90s, there was a big instance where an American teenager got in trouble and was going to get caned in
Singapore?
Somewhere in the Middle East. Singapore? Yeah.
Is it Singapore they do the caning still?
I think so, because that's why the ECW called it the Singapore cane, was because of that incident. They called the kendo sticks Singapore canes.
I think they use a piece of bamboo that has slits down it.
Yeah, it's cut. Yeah. Then when it hits you, it like pinches.
Yeah, it fucks you up, cuts you.
Yeah.
Let's say Singapore. And Singapore is a weird place. Like, it's very clean. Very clean. You're not even supposed to chew gum there in public. Like, you can't spit on the ground. Like, there's no, you walk around the United States, people be spitting all over the place or whatever. You can't do that there. If you get drunk, throw up, like, you better throw up in your shirt and hope that it all ends up in your jeans, and none of it touches the ground, because they will arrest you if they see you doing it.
Yeah.
Okay, after reading what this kid did, like, getting 6 cane strokes was actually fucking justified. I would say he deserved more.
What did he do?
Stealing road signs and vandalizing 18 cars over a 10-day period. Singapore.
In Singapore, yeah. So he got 6 cane strokes from that?
Yeah.
Only 6.
Dude.
And committed other mischief. It just says other mischief.
So he's basically being a
dick.
A shitty teenager.
Yeah.
I mean, if he vandalized 18 cars and stole road signs here in America, he'd be fucking locked up for years.
Maybe.
Yeah, not anymore.
At least a couple years.
Now they would just yell at him
in 94.
Yeah, 94. Yeah.
So I mean, the 6 cane strokes probably more humane.
Well, his dad would probably give him more cane strokes than the court would have done anything. They would have been like, "Oh, tell your dad," and then he'd go back to your dad and he gives him the belt.
Yeah, comes in, pulls that big thick leather belt off, folds it in half, and snaps it a couple times.
Yeah,
this year during
warning
Christmas,
shot.
Christmas, we were playing that game where you blindfold yourself and you march in place and to the music, and then when they turn the music off, you see how far you are out of the box put on the ground. Mm-hmm. Well, we were taking those blindfolds, and me and my sister were whipping my mom with it. We were popping my mom with it. My mom just got a brand new customized belt with her name on the back and everything. She pulled that off and just started whipping the shit out of me and my sister. And my aunt, like a couple days later, my aunt fucking was on the phone with her. She goes, "Are you being serious, whipping the kids like that?" It's like, no, we're playing. We're just kidding. Our love language is violence. I mean,
Mom, I'm 40 years old. What are you doing?
Yeah,
I'll still beat your ass.
Yeah.
I grabbed the belt from her, and like mid swing, and she just reached up and grabbed me around the throat.
Damn, dude.
Jesus,
that's violence.
Yeah, our love language is violence, man.
My grandma used to chase me around with the fly swatter.
Oh yeah,
she'd chase me around with that thing, and then she'd whack me with it, and I'd pretend like it hurt, so she would just stop. Like, grandma, now.
Scream, pretend like you can't breathe. Scream. I used to get the wooden spoon.
Yep, got the wooden spoon.
The one off the wall next to the big giant fork.
Yeah,
pick a switch. That's the worst. You had to get that sweet spot switch.
We didn't get those. I mean, we just got whatever was within reach. I think most of the time.
I remember
shoes,
having
slippers. You know, big
just one time I had to go out and pick a switch off of the peach tree in the backyard. It's all it took was just once.
I feel like a willow tree would be the worst.
Oh yeah, they're like a whip.
Yeah, like
so flexible. You know?
Yeah, the weeping willows.
Yeah, or like really any willow. Those branches are real soft and flexible. Like you could really crack someone with one of them things.
Get some speed on that thing.
Yeah.
You learn to pick the one that's like, you don't want it too thin because there's less wind resistant. That thing stings. You don't want it too big, then it's just gonna club you like a baseball bat. You want it like right in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
The best for the pain, right? Is that
yeah?
Okay.
Most efficient.
Here I have chosen you the most efficient and diabolical switch I can find. You hand it away.
Please use this in the future.
Yeah.
Or there is no better one.
Yeah.
I remember in school getting threatened with a paddle. Never got it, but getting threatened with it.
Yeah, my elementary school had corporal punishment still. You had to sign a waiver for it. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
parents had to sign a waiver. You didn't have that?
Elementary too. Yeah. I don't know anybody that they never had to use it, but they were still allowed to. Like if your parents said, "Yeah, you can whip my kid," they could whip you.
Yeah, there was they had to sign corporal punishment paper, but it was in Southern California. It was in Kelly Elementary School in Carlsbad. That's where I went to elementary. I remember it. And I remember my second grade teacher was a real witch. She wouldn't let me go to the bathroom, dude. It was like 3 hours left in the school day.
I think my fourth or fifth grade teacher, I think it was my fifth grade teacher. She was a witch. I couldn't stand that lady. That and my Spanish teacher in high school.
My fifth grade English teacher was pretty bad.
I just remember it was probably 85, something like that. Maybe 86. It was the same. I think it was the same class where they rolled the TV out when the Challenger took off and we all watched it explode in the air. I remember that. It was like second grade, dude. What happened? The TV just turns off.
Anyway,
yeah. So yeah, we watched it live, dude.
Oh, nice.
I think I was in second grade.
That was my mom was cooking or baking my first birthday cake when that happened. I was sitting in the living room. I was only 1 year old.
What year was that?
Was it 85?
86.
86.
Oh yeah, I was non-existent.
Yeah, so
I was a thought.
I was 8, and I want to say I was in second grade. And yeah, that was the same year the Challenger exploded when it took off, and the same year that my teacher, her name was like Miss Spaniard or something, if I remember right. And I asked to go to the bathroom, and she said no. And I asked again, she said no. And I'm sitting there in my chair like, I gotta go. And I tried to do it, and she's like, no. And then I just pissed in my chair. And then she made me sit outside.
Experience pissing in public.
Yeah. And then she made me sit outside the door, because all California schools are outdoor schools. So I had to sit outside the fucking classroom door and leaning up against the brick walls, sitting in my pissed in jeans until my mom came to pick me up. And I told her, I was like, she wouldn't let me go to the bathroom. I asked 3 times. Like, what the fuck was that all about, dude? Like 8 years old, bro.
Yeah.
Challenger explosion was January 28th, 1986. That was the day before my first birthday.
Yeah. I do. I remember that. Wheeling the TV in and the little cable plug. They could plug the cable in, and then we watched it, and it was like, whoa.
I guess that was only 6 months before my time.
Oh.
So.
Yeah. Second grade was rough for me, man.
The Columbia explosion was the February 1st, so it was like 2 days after my birthday. And the year I graduated high school. And the debris fell over where our lake house is. you can still go out there and find little pieces here and there.
That's kind of cool.
So that's why I have both of their patches, because they both have like some sort of, like, this was a day before my birthday, and then this one, the debris fell over our property, Texas. So they both have some kind of a wholesome sort of remembrance to them.
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh wait, no. This one's Challenger, and this one's Columbia. I thought this one was Challenger because it looks older.
Which one's that one? Columbia?
This one's Columbia. This one happened in 2003. This one is the one that happened in 86.
Have you guys ever seen a shuttle launch? I've always wanted to do that.
Not like in person, just on TV.
Yeah.
Just
no, but
on
I
TV.
did go. I have gone to both the NASA in Florida and here in Houston.
Okay. I think I was real close to Cape Canaveral, but I didn't get to go. I'm going to end up going at some point. But
it was kind of cool because, like, the one in Florida, they took you out and they showed you like the little rover that they take the shuttle out on and shit. It's pretty cool. It's huge.
Yeah. I'm sure you guys have heard that with the like the size of the space shuttle, it goes all the way back to like horse-drawn carriage and everything like that they can only make it so big because they can only fit a certain size on the trains, on the rails. So basically, space flight, there's a connection between space flight and like horse-drawn carriages as far as like the dimensions go, because they couldn't. They can only make it so big because it can only ride on the rails, so large. And then the rails are made because those were the standard sizes for the horse-drawn carriages. So like it's kind of crazy that it has like that weird connection from so long ago.
You're talking the space shuttle?
Yeah, the space shuttle. So they can only make some dimensions so wide because it has to ride on train cars. And it can only fit so large on the rails.
Don't they?
And the rails were made.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're good. The rails can only be were made specific. It's like 3 feet something for the rails, but they were made because that was the size of the dimensions for horse-drawn carriages when they first made the railways.
Huh. Don't they fly some of the parts like on aircraft though, like large cargo aircraft?
They do, but I think like the body and things like that. There's some things like with the rockets or like the body that they can't make them so big only because they have to fit on the train cars.
That's interesting.
There's like a whole connection back and forth between them, but yeah.
That's weird, man.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. So that's
the AI is saying that the design of space shuttle's solid rocket boosters is said to be connected to the size of a horse's rear end.
Yeah. So, that's what it is. So the horse-drawn carriages had to be a certain width because they had to fit around the back end of a horse, and then the wheels always fell in the same spots, and that's why they had the ruts in the roads. And to keep from breaking your wheels, you had to make them this standard size so that they would fit in the ruts in the roads. And then that led to the train rails, and then the train rails led to the rocket boosters.
Huh.
Yeah. Fun facts.
Well, there's like the reason why we drive on the side of the road that we do is connected to horse and carriage too. Somehow, I can't remember.
What was it? I don't know if it's because of this in the United States, but I know that like in Europe, they drove on the left side of the road because on horses, you'd always stay to the left because your sword hand was on the right.
That's it. Yeah.
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 So if you had to attack anybody, then you'd be crossing them on the right.
Well, do you guys know? So you know where saluting came from, right? Where people saluted, where it originated.
No,
no.
It's from those times. So like when knights wore their armor, they would often, when they're passing by each other, they would lift up the visor on their armor to show that they weren't an enemy.
Yeah,
passing by. So, and then it was adopted, obviously, into the like modern military ranks in different ways. But that's where they say that it originated from, was from like knights or people who wore full suits of armor.
Yeah, lifting
their visor.
Yeah,
so they could see it wasn't an enemy.
Yeah,
interesting.
That's just Jim. Okay.
Yeah.
Same with what is it? Like spiral staircases. I don't know if you've heard about that.
No.
How they go up. What is it? They go up counterclockwise, because when you're coming during battles, like if enemies were trying to go up, they would have to swing their dominant hand on the wall side, and then you would have, if you were on top, you'd be coming down and you'd have all the open space to swing your sword.
Oh. Huh. I'm like picturing it right now. Yeah.
Yeah. There wasn't as much room to swing.
Do they all go that direction? Like counter?
For the most part. There's some that probably don't now, but
some buck the system.
like most of the older castles, they have those spiral staircases.
Yeah, going up to the tops of the. Huh. Interesting.
The reason why we call shotgun to get right in the passenger seat is because the person sitting next to the conductor, not conductor, but the stagecoach driver carried a shotgun just in case of bandits or shit like that.
Bandits or native raid or something like that. The shotgun. Yeah, that's. I bet a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
I bet they don't know why the person sitting in the middle is riding bitch.
I don't know.
You don't know?
Why is that?
All I know is the reason why the person in the riding on the back of a motorcycle is the bitch.
No, the person riding bitch. If you're in a bench seat truck and you're riding in the middle, you're riding bitch, not shotgun. If you're in the middle, so shotgun is the passenger side, bitch is the middle, driver's the driver.
Yeah,
because that's where the dog sat. That's where the dog used to sit.
Maybe, or it's because that's where the stick's at, between your legs. That's what I don't know. That's what they used to say. You're riding bitch. I think it's where the dog.
Might be where the dog
at.
Yeah, we'll go with that. That sounds nice.
It sounds much nicer.
Yeah, you had the driver, you had the dog, and then the shotgun. So
maybe
riding bitch.
Yeah.
My dog rides by the window. I don't know. That's his spot.
Our dog rides in anybody who's driving slap.
Oh yeah, no.
We had me and my sisters were learning how to drive. We had 3 Pomeranians, and it didn't matter who was driving. All 3 of them had to be in the driver's lap.
Ugh.
So, I learned how to drive with 3 dogs in my lap.
3 Pomeranians. That's like equal to a quarter of a dog.
Yeah.
I don't know. One of them was a hefty ass fucking Pomeranian though. She was the mama of all of them. And
okay.
She was fucking heavy.
Yeah.
Stout, little bowling ball.
Bigger than like 8 pounds or whatever they weigh.
Yeah, I think she was like 13 to 15, somewhere in there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Dang. Well, you guys ready to wrap this thing up? It's been about an hour. Time flies.
So. Time flies. Zombos.
Yeah. Energizer, man, thanks for popping in last second for us, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man, it was fun. Thanks for inviting me. It was a good time.
Very interesting to learn about some of the stuff you had to teach us about today. So I did not know that it's more efficient not to use your mouth to paint the phallic object tips than airbrush. So
yeah, you wouldn't think so, but it's not as efficient.
Yeah, I was surprised to learn that there's visual references being used.
Oh yeah, they're custom.
Yeah, like based on customer needs and everything. But no, truly though, appreciate it, brother. Thanks for coming on. I hope you had a good time just shooting the bull with us. That's just what we do every Sunday for like an hour at about the same time, 5:30 Pacific time or 7:30 Central for about an hour.
Cool.
And then we
yeah, man, it was a good time.
Yeah, for sure. Appreciate you. And then we throw it up on Spotify and YouTube on the following Wednesday for people out there that like to listen later on. So
cool. I'll check it out.
Yeah. Anyway. What else? Anything?
Thumbnail?
I haven't made a thumbnail in forever, man.
Yeah.
I've just been doing a RSS feed for are we fist bumping?
Oh, that was my thumbnail.
Oh, fist bumps?
Oh, fist bumps. Wait, where's the good fist?